Hi everyone, Derek Arcuri here from CMS Consulting. I'm offering a free little video in exchange for a little favor if you can, and I'll explain what that favor is at the end of the video. But first, this video is directed to Marketing 700 students, in particular to week 4. Week 4 I saw that some students were struggling with constructing the Excel table, and because our professor did mention that he was going to ask us to reconstruct components of the table on the midterm, I thought that it would be an excellent proposition that I have for you lovely students. So the goal of this particular exercise is to construct this table, Table 3, based on the parameters in Table 2, and we're going to make sure that it matches the raw data we have in Table 1. You notice that there's no formulas in here, it's just that raw data. So what we're going to do first is customers in year 0, we're just going to draw that from the parameter table. This is just simple drawing, nothing to it. Retention rate is the same. Orders per year is the same. It might not be in our regular, in our midterm, because this is just redundant data. Average order size is redundant. And then our total revenue is our first calculation that we're going to construct. And so total revenue by logic is the average order size times the orders per year. This refers to one particular customer, and of course times the amount of customers we have in period 0. And that total revenue should very much match what we have in Table 1, right up here. And then the customers in year 2 is the amount we have, period 1, is the amount we have in period 0 times the retention rate. And then we can just drag that across. And that's 0 for now because we need to get the total revenue down here. The retention rate, I could drag this across, but just for simplicity, I'll manually key them in. Retention rate in period 1 is 70%. Order size is 2.5%. And the average order size is 95 instead of 90. Just want to make sure that those match, 70, 72.5, and 95. And then the total revenue, we'll just drag this formula across because we've already covered that. There we go. And then manually keying these in. Average order size. Perfect. So we've completed 1/3 of the table. We want to make sure that these numbers are the same, which they are. Now for the second part of the table, we're going to actually cost refers to the cost in percentage. And so we're going to manually key those in as well. And let's drag that across. 70, 65, and 65, perfect. The cost of sales is a calculation. It is the total revenue that we have in period 0 times the cost percentage, and so that's very simple marketing 300s kind of logic. And then we're going to carry that across. The acquisition marketing cost refers to what we have in the parameters here. It refers to the acquisition, so that's G13 plus G14, the marketing cost here. So that's 55, and we're going to carry that formula across, and you'll notice that just by adding this one plus 20 and this plus 20, you just get 20 and 20. And so this is per customer, or rather per order. Then the marketing cost, this should be a big number, would be the number of customers. So you're multiplying the cost per acquisition per customer times the amount of customers that you have. And so that's L8 times this unit right here to get a nice aggregate view. And then we're going to carry that across. Total cost is very simple. It is the cost of sales plus the marketing cost. Cost of sales plus the marketing cost, each respective period. And we're going to drag that across. Now we've completed 2/3 of the table. Now moving on to the final part. The gross profit is total revenue minus total costs. It's fairly simple. Total costs. We have a negative number. I'm going to drag that across, and just to make sure that we're still on track, we're going to make reference with these numbers here. And we are on track. So we know that we're building the formula properly. The discount rate would be the same for any table regardless of the parameters. We would open brackets 1 plus the discount rate that we have in that period, which is 16% for period 0, close bracket to the power of, we're going to put that particular year. So that one's to the power of 0, and that's why we just get 1. And we're going to drag that across. And they do show up as 1 and 1, but let's get some decimals there. And let's just cross-reference with the table on this side, 116 and 135, perfect. Now to calculate the net present value. Net present value is the gross profit divided by the discount rate. Very simple. And we'll drag that across. And then the cumulative net present value is, for period 0, is the same as the net present value in period 0. And then this one equals last year's net present value plus this year's net present value. And again, last year's net present value plus this year's net present value. And finally, we're going to calculate the customer lifetime value, which is the cumulative net present value in that respective period divided by the customers we have in period 0. So because we want to drag this across, we're just going to use some absolute references here. And I'm going to drag that across. So it's always making reference to this, the amount of customers we had in the year 0. You'll notice that in the formula, it's always going back to this one here. And just to double check that everything is the same, our customer lifetime value, which is the most important data in our table, we want to make sure that those are the most accurate. -6, 26, and 53. -6, 26, and 53. Perfect. So we've constructed the table properly. Now, as a token of appreciation, I would ask if you can go onto our website at compellingmarketingsolutions.com. You can just Google us, click on social responsibility, and any donation really helps for the Olive Branch for Children. We've been supporting them for the past 4 years, and all of our support goes directly into the program, so that's would really make our world here at CMS Consulting. Thank you very much.